Hey friends, so I'm back at it again talking about these stupid movies. Today we're talking about Zombies 2, obviously, and thankfully I've learned a few lessons. First of all, I'm not explaining the entire movie beat by beat, hopefully, and I'm gonna do that on camera so that when I do show a clip, it'll be like, maybe hopefully in the corner, unless it's really important that it be like, Johnny. If something needs to be front and center, I'll do that, but unless I'm talking about something specific that I want to show, I can just show my face. And then I don't have to assault your eyeballs with a big stupid block of text every single time I show a clip from the movie, because that's annoying for me and for you. For me, because I just don't like doing that, and for you, because I feel like that kind of makes it hard to watch. Side notes, in the last video, I mentioned how I thought it was really strange that the cheerleader van had the steering wheel on the right side instead of the left side. And then after posting the video, completely editing it, posting it, whatever, it had been up for a few days, I was talking to my mom about it, and then this conversation happened. Well, it might have been a mail van they repurposed. What? Mail vans have the steering wheel on the right side. They do? Why? Because they need to deliver mail? Oh. Yeah. So, long story short, I'm pretty sure it was just a mail van. I don't know for sure, but it's the only thing that makes any sense. Anyways, Zombies 2. So, in the first movie, we discussed how it was a metaphor for racism in that zombies are an oppressed class of people. We already discussed how that's racist, and it's really, there's no point in, over-explaining that again. If you really want, a full explanation on why that's racist, you can watch the first video, but if you don't want to do that for some reason, it's racist because you can't have a metaphor for racism in which your, stand-in class of oppressed people are genuinely dangerous. You should never make a metaphor for racism in which the racism in your metaphor is actually in some way valid. And in this universe, fear of zombies is in some way valid. Zed and Addison are two leads. They are in love now, I guess. They're dating. Zed is a zombie, a football-playing zombie, and Addison is a cheerleader. And she has white hair. In the first movie, it was this secret she had that she'd been wearing a blonde wig her whole life, but actually underneath she was wearing a different color blonde wig. Also, I have light falling on my face. Sorry about that. There are blinds right in front of my desk. Not much I can do about that. They don't say I love you. I don't know why they don't. I don't know if that's a thing they're not allowed to say in these movies, have two teenagers say I love you to each other, but whatever, I don't care that much. So now, for the start of this movie, racism's over. They called off racism. Humans and zombies get along really well now, actually. They pretty much have no issues whatsoever, which is, I was expecting a few lingering issues, but whatever, that's great. Racism's over. Awesome. And now, at the beginning of this movie, we get the same, 2D comic book style, opening scene. I still don't know why they do this. I don't, whatever. There are monsters in the woods, I guess. They're, furry monsters. I guess we can assume they're werewolves, but that word is not used in the beginning. This was, way when Seabrook was founded. The humans had found a quote-unquote precious rock or something in the woods. I don't remember exactly what they call it. It has a supposedly really powerful energy source, so they take it and they safeguard it from the monsters, and that's their power source, and the whole city became rich because of this power source. I'd like to stop on this shot at the beginning. Addison and Bree and the other cheerleaders are at cheer camp, and they're at these big, this big field, and then at some point they run to a house, assumingly where they're sleeping. You might be thinking to yourself, is that the Lab Rats house? I never personally watched Lab Rats, but I watched Keegan Carlisle's whole video on the show and then the spinoff show that they had with Mighty Med, so I'm very familiar with that house now for some reason. No, it's not the Lab Rats house. It's this house in Ontario, Canada, where they shot most of the scenes in the movie. They didn't shoot all the scenes in the movie at this house. They shot most of the scenes in the movie in Ontario, Canada. I don't know if there's any shots in America, but I can't guarantee that because obviously nobody on IMDb cares enough to document every single filming location that this movie had. Understandable. I did find the house. It wasn't on IMDb. I found it myself. The Lab Rats house is in Salt Lake City, Utah. You probably weren't thinking it looked like the Lab Rats house, but I was, and then I just wanted to show you that I was proud of myself for finding it. It's a beautiful filming location, by the way. It's an insane house. Addison's hair is exactly the same It's just a warm platinum color now, and it's kind of hard to tell. I think they use multiple wigs because in these first few scenes it is a very warm platinum, and then over the course of the movie it becomes a very cool toned white. It's a completely different shade of white from that weird little Party City wig they had her in the first movie. I really wish that they'd let her keep that little layered haircut. It was super fun. Maybe it was just validating for me, an expert in weird layered haircuts, because that's my style. I liked it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was unique. It kind of transformed her character a bit, but whatever, her haircut's a little more basic now. It's still pretty. It's literally a normal shade of platinum. It looks like a normal shade of platinum that any girl would be like, that's a beautiful shade of platinum. And I guess the film just wants us to think that everyone thinks it's weird because the ACs call her Snowball, which I don't think is mean at all. I think it's actually a really cute nickname, but Addison's still catching fire from the ACs, and it's what fire? They called you Snowball. That's really cute. I know the ACs are evil, but I don't know what the point is of the ACs. They kind of have no point. These movies all think that the mean people need to come in pairs of 3s or 4s, and I don't really know why that's necessary, but it's fine. Anyway, prom is happening, but they actually call it prawn, which I love because their mascot is the Mighty Shrimp, and that's really funny to me. I think Addison's acting in this movie, and I'll get into it a little bit more later, I think her acting is much better in this movie. She just comes off as so much more confident. I think the first shot where I kind of realized this is this shot where the ACs hand her a pom-pom made of her shredded letters from Zed and to Zed. Earlier she was talking about how she sent letters to Zed, but he wouldn't send her letters back, and then Zed was like, I wish Addison would write me back, and then we get this shot of the AC shredding their letters. And so this shot where she comes to the realization that they did that is both humorous and real. Her character's so much more grounded in this movie. I like this shade of blonde on Addison, I'm gonna be honest. I can tell it's a wig, it's not the best wig. It's definitely better than the wig that she wore for the white hair in the first movie, because that was a terrible wig. But in a lot of scenes I can see her lace lifting up. I think that there were some scenes where it was just a long filming day because that wig looks a little too ratty, and I don't know why they didn't touch it up, because it's kind of distracting. I really like that Bonzo's a cheerleader. It doesn't really come up again ever that he's a cheerleader. It's just in this scene, and I think they just wanted Bree and Bonzo to be able to interact at the beginning, because for the rest of the movie it's he was never a cheerleader, he's in the marching band, what are you talking about? And it's he should have been in the marching band in the first place, but whatever, man. They could have shown Bonzo in marching band and him making his own friends, and he's teaching them to speak zombie. They didn't want to give Bonzo any depth, I guess. It's fine, it's whatever. When we cut back to Zed in between these back and forth scenes in this song, it is mentioned that the Seabrook power plant is being demolished, and we cut back to the cheerleaders, and the Z team, which is just Addison and her friends who like zombies, and the zombies on the cheer squad. It's a huge cheer squad, by the way. Hi, I'm editing. I'm here to give you context. At cheer camp, the cheerleaders are split into 2 groups, the A team and the Z team. I mentioned before, the Z team is everybody who's not a racist, and the zombies, and they win because they have the power of anti-racism and friendship on their side, and there's a big trophy that they get to have for winning the game. Bucky's like, fine, here's your trophy. This part has a lot of ADR, but I can't blame them. It transitions fine, so it's whatever. Bucky's like, that's great, now let's make this victory about me. Bucky is running unopposed for student body president, but if he does win student body president, which he probably will, they need a new cheer captain. And it's implied that Addison might get it. She might get some competition from the ACs, but Bree nominates her, and it seems like she's a better leader than them, obviously, because she's not racist. Addison really wants to be cheer captain. It's something she's always wanted. Anyway, the mascot is driving the bus in his mascot costume. They have a mascot, and he's wearing this big foam shrimp costume throughout the entire beginning, and that's fine. I mean, it might be hot out, but whatever. And then he's driving in it, mask on. I don't know why he's doing that, but whatever. Meanwhile, Zed wants to meet up with the bus on the way back to Seabrook, and he sets up a big pronposal for Addison, and it's really cute. He has signs set up as they drive by, and then the bus crashes. But while the bus is crashing, we get this really cute scene where like Zed's like hanging off the side of the bus and he and Addison are like on the other side of the window and they like touch hands and they play like this cute music and it's just cute. It's just cute. I love Zed. I low-key kind of have a crush on Zed's actor, Milo Manheim, I don't know. His birthday is a year and 3 days before mine. Interesting. Milo, if you're watching, hit me up, maybe. Could be fun. Anyway, this is the second time that Addison has punched Zed in the face because he startled her, and I love her instincts. She doesn't flight. She's only fight instincts. If anything scares her, she comes out swinging, and I love it. When they run into the woods, I don't remember exactly why, but I think the bus crashes in the woods, and then she sees some werewolves and they howl, and she's like, whoa, and then everybody's like scared of werewolves now. Bucky somehow makes the stupidest dialogue I've ever heard genuinely really funny.
Fine, there are werewolves circling us right now, waiting to attack.
Yeah, and I'm way too tasty. I'm always looking like a snack. Somebody has to do.
Since everyone's scared of werewolves, Addison's mom, who is the mayor, reestablishes all the anti-monster laws, which means that zombies can't go to the prom anymore. I was in a really good mood when I was watching this, so I just thought it was really cute. Like, Zed was like,
Okay, so that's why you said no?
Yeah. Why are you smiling?
Because when you said no, I thought you didn't like me anymore. But the only problem here is a bunch of bloodthirsty werewolves. We can so fix that.
it's such a good line delivery. After all the anti-monster laws are reestablished, everybody's like, okay, racism's back on, you guys. And then we see this scene with the football coach from the last movie, and he's got a Froyo cart. He said in the last movie that his dream was to sell Froyo, and now he can sell Froyo. I'm so happy for him. Genuinely. I hope he has a bright Froyo future ahead of him. Then we cut to the werewolves having a little chat. I'll talk more about these characters later, but our three leads are named Willa, Wyatt, and Winter with a Y. Winter is played by a Musical.ly star whose name I don't remember. I want to say her name is Ariel. And she went by the handle Baby Ariel, but I'm certainly not going to look it up because I don't care. She's fine as an actress. I'll talk more about their performances and dynamics a bit later, but she's fine. They mention a great alpha, and Addison's white hair makes them think that she might be the great alpha. Like, apparently in their legends, the great alpha has white hair and is a cheerleader. They are looking for the quote-unquote moonstone, which, you know, we can only assume is the rock from the cartoon opening scene. I like the lead werewolf dude, Wyatt. I think he's cute, and some of his line deliveries are pretty good. But I think that the lead werewolf girl is a good singer, a fine actor. It's fine. But her dancing's like a little awkward. I can't blame her for it. She didn't come up with the choreography, but I do think her dancing's, a lot of her performance is very like, and I don't know. I don't love it. Again, if I say anything like critical about any of these child actors, know that I don't blame them at all. They are child actors and they're all doing their very best, and I'm proud of all of them for even being in a movie. So, there's like zero chance that they'd ever see this because I don't have a YouTube channel with subscribers. It's just like friends, and that's fine. If they ever saw this, I would hope they would know that not a single criticism I have of their acting in this movie is personal, and I don't blame them, and I hope they know I'm proud of them because they all do a great job. The movie, I don't know if I was in a good mood or not, but this movie was genuinely kind of funny. Like, I would include all the parts I found funny, but there's so much in it that it's just a consistently fun movie. Like, it's cringe at some points, but it genuinely, it made me laugh. I was having a really good time. I watched it twice. Once to go through the plot, and then another time to go through the characterization and music. And my friend was here for the second watch, and she found it so cringe, and I was just having such a good time. Like, I just love this movie. We cut to, like, a pep rally. Bonzo is in the band, and he's not playing I think that was a mellophone that they had in the first movie. Don't quote me on that, I don't know. It's not the mellophone though. It's some sort of made up instrument that has like a bunch of different horns coming out of it, and it has this very like Dr. Seuss sound to it, which is fun, and I like it. Zed decides that he's going to run for president so he can let zombies go to prawn. That's his plan now. That's his motivation for the movie. He's going to run against Bucky, and Bucky's upset. Obviously. Not understandably, but obviously. Meanwhile, the werewolves snuck into the school because they're looking for Addison, and when they go to the pep rally / like people announcing that they're running for president thing, Zed is up on a podium and he goes, "Football players, do this, blah 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 blah," and then they unquestioningly listen to him. Like, I think that racism kind of is over because they like instantly respect him, and they do their thing. They really respect him as a leader, and so they're like, yeah, we'll do the thing. I think he gets that they're looking for Addison, so they kind of huddle up around her to protect her. They go, hold on a second. If you guys are threatened by us, we can't get the Moonstone. We want to go to school here. And then the football coach is like, well, the Forbidden Forest is technically in the school district, and Addison goes, so welcome to Seabrook. And it's cute as hell. I just love it. I think her line delivery is like pretty good in this movie. I think she has pretty good comedic timing most of the time. She feels so much more like a real human being in this movie, and I'm proud of her. I think she really gained a lot of confidence as an actress. Suddenly, Addison realizes that one of two things can happen from the student body president thing. Either Zed takes her to prawn by becoming president and changing that rule, which I don't know why he would have the power to change that rule, but in the movie, I guess we believe that he has the power to change that rule. She can either go to the prawn with Zed and have him be president, or she can be cheer captain and replace Bucky if Bucky becomes president. And she's conflicted, and Zed goes, no, it's actually great, because that means that neither of us can lose. And I'm happy either way. And it's so cute. They're so like healthy and communicative. I love them. They won't be like that for long, but it's okay. I love them. FYI, Addison, civil rights are more important than you being cheer captain. Like, I don't know if you knew that, but like, Zed's civil rights are more important than you being cheer captain. I don't remember writing this, but apparently I wrote... Oh my god, I just came up with such a good joke. Lillian, make a vote for Zedro image real quick. We'll see if I do that. If I do, it's on the screen right here. Vote for Zedro. I also wrote, I can't get over the way Addison never questions anything she's told by anybody. Like, obviously she questions like racist stuff, but in the library scene, this happens.
History books claim werewolves attacked Seabrook settlers, but they struck first and stole our Moonstone. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
So at this point, we kind of hit this conflict where it's like there's something to be said about the way that the zombies are so willing to embrace and assimilate into human society, and the way the werewolves just want what's theirs. They don't care about acceptance, they want respect, and they want other people to accept them the way they are. They don't want to change for humans, which is interesting. And I don't know if like all zombies feel this way, because we kind of only give voice to like a few of them. But Zed is very much like, he wants to conform. Not because he's not proud of being a zombie, but because he is so motivated to get things done that he's kind of losing sight of what the point of getting things done was in the first place. It's just strange. Zed's character has a strange amount of depth. His willingness to conform is contrasted really well with Eliza and the werewolves, and it's like his intentions are good when he advises others to conform and act human, but truthfully he has some sort of internalized thing where he's like rejecting being a zombie. First movie kind of shows this when he turns himself into a human with a Z-band, which, by the way, if they could do that, why wouldn't the government just make the Z-bands able to turn all the zombies into humans? If they have that capability, and if it's unstable, yeah, it was unstable because Eliza jailbroke it, but like, if the government was like, okay, we have the technology to do this, we can make it stable, why not do it? Why not do it? Why didn't you do that like a long time ago when the government started handing out the Z-bands to everyone? Whatever. That part in the first movie, when he turns himself into a human to impress Addison's parents, kind of reminds me of Shrek 2. Not gonna elaborate. It kind of reminds me of Shrek 2. Zed and Addison have like a little bit of a fight. Addison had just taught the werewolves how to cheer, and Zed feels a little jealous. Not only that the werewolves are immediately welcomed into the school, but because Wyatt, one of the lead wolves, seems a little too flirty with Addison. She's like, "You're too scared of being yourself because you're afraid that you'll be rejected." And it's like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where I belong. I don't know what I am. I gotta find where I belong. And then they sing a song. And then this is the scene that I was talking about earlier where her hair looks a little ratty and her lace is lifting up right around her temples here. That's a pretty... I've seen a lot of things where people's wigs will kind of, you know, slowly lift up around that area. It's fine. I think they changed to a different wig soon enough, but her hair is like really ratty here. I don't know why they didn't fix it up just for like a musical number, you know what I mean? But whatever. The werewolves take her back to the Forbidden Forest, to like coordinate her werewolf queen or something, and they do the world's lamest joke that they did in the first movie where a character says something in like a made-up language and it sounds exactly like what the other characters were saying, but they're like, haha, you said something nonsensical, and then she tries again and they're like, whoa, you said a swear. But the only funny joke here is that the Musical.ly star goes, now she has to put a quarter in the swearwolf jar. Wyatt tells her that he thinks that she's the Great Alpha because some sort of prophecy projection they have shows the Great Alpha with white hair, and I guess also being the most basic bitch of all time. We get a big Addison werewolf transformation, and you know I love a costume change, especially in a musical number. I'm a sucker for a costume change in the middle of a musical number where, like, you know, the one doing the transformation is like they duck, all the werewolves, all the background dancers cover them, and then she comes back up again, new costume. That's so cool. I love it. I think it was a really smooth transition. I mean, I didn't notice any cuts or anything. I thought it was great. I thought it was sick as hell, and I loved it. Anyway, Zed comes in. They were trying to find Addison. They were afraid that she'd been kidnapped and brought to the Forbidden Forest. And Zed goes, oh, I gotta save her. So he, like, messes up his Z-band. I think he takes it off. And he seems to be able to control himself completely as a zombie, which is weird. And he's like, back off. It's my girlfriend. And she's like, what? Guys, I want to be here. And Bree goes, but you texted help. And she goes, I needed help with the chemistry homework. Didn't you see the beaker emoji? And then she goes, oh, I do now. I'm sorry, it was funny. I was watching it at like 2 in the morning, but it was funny. Zed is scared to lose Addison to being a werewolf, which I kind of like this conflict in the movie. I think it makes the most sense for these characters. Zed really doesn't want to lose Addison. At the same time, you really understand why Addison wants to be part of something. And you know, maybe she should like get a personality from like within. Maybe she should like find happiness from like within, but you know, whatever, I'm not her therapist. Also, this wig she wears as the werewolf, I can see the lace so well. It is like, because the thing about the werewolf wig is that her hair is like pulled back like this, and you can see all along here the edge of the lace just a little bit. And if I didn't know how like nice wigs worked and like how lace worked on a wig, I don't think I would pick up on it. I'd be like, where, that's like a strange line. But I was picking up on it, and it's fine. It's a fine wig. I think it's a better wig than the first movie, so it's fine. After this, they rush outside because they hear explosions coming from the Seabrook power plant, and Zed is like, yeah, that's where all our zombies' powers come from. And they go, well, that's got nothing to do with us. The werewolves say that. And then Addison goes, wait, I think it might have something to do with you. I think your moonstone's there. And they're like, well, that demolition's gonna destroy the moonstone. This is bad. They give Addison a necklace. It's like a moonstone necklace, and it's the Great Alpha necklace or something. It will turn her into a werewolf if she puts it on. And seeing Zed's like stress about this, she goes, can I have a day to think about it? And they go, fine. And then the next day she comes into school all werewolfed out, and like her little outfit, and you hear background people going, oh my god, she looks amazing. She runs into Zed and he manages to steal it, and then when she goes back to the other werewolves to say like, oh, I'm gonna put the necklace on, because they're like, they really want to go into the Seabrook power plant and steal the Moonstone. She's like, I want to come with you. And they go, you're not a werewolf. And she goes, not yet. And she's about to put it on. And then she realizes it's not there. And they get all mad. And they're like, you're not a werewolf. And she goes, damn it. Anyway, we cut back. Zed reveals to Eliza that he stole the necklace. By the way, earlier it was mentioned that the necklace interacts with technology in a strange way. So, you know, keep that in mind. Zed is about to go on for the debate with Bucky for the, student body president thing. And the lighting's different. So Zed puts the necklace in his little letter jacket pocket, and he goes out, and he and Bucky kind of do this like debate thing, and the debate is illustrated through a sort of back and forth kind of like rap battle style number. It goes really hard is the thing. It's like really good. Like, I like it. So at some point, after he seems to have won over the crowd, he accidentally goes like this, and a Z-band touches the necklace, and it fucks it up. And suddenly he goes full zombie. It like scares everybody. And here I'd like to stop for a sec and talk about something weird. So this scene is strangely nuanced. As Zed roars in Bucky's face after everybody's already run away, including zombies, which is whatever. As Zed roars in his face, Bucky only just like grins. Like, this is valuable to him. Zed making himself look like a monster in front of the voters, that's valuable to him. He is not scared of zombies, unlike in the first movie. Johnny, what do you want? You have food. Are you just bored? I hear you. Oh my god. You got it. You got it. Yes. Okay. So, it's cat time. No. Okay. Hey, baby. Yay! Right. So, it's weird because Bucky has this strange nuance in this scene. And it stuck with me ever since I saw it. Even the first time I saw the movie. He goes, I know you won't hurt me, big guy, but they don't. And he grins. And it's like, that's so strange. The way that, people in power at some point don't even believe this shit they're spewing. They're just using it to control other people. And we touched on this theme earlier in the movie with Zed's mom, bowing to the crowd's fears and just reinstating the zombie laws, the monster laws. And, she knows this, that Zed isn't dangerous, or zombies aren't dangerous, A lot of people know that zombies aren't dangerous. They clearly don't have lingering fear of zombies. But it's the way that the people in power use fear-mongering to control other people. And that's a strange nuance to bring to this movie, especially with Bucky. It's an interesting nuanced take for a movie that's honestly based on a fundamentally racist premise. Anyway, I guess Zed lost the election, or he's going to lose the election. Johnny, oh my god. Meanwhile, the werewolves broke into the power plant to get the Moonstone back, and also I think they want to do a revolution based on the lyrics in the song. Also, Eliza sings in this song, and I don't know why they don't let her sing more, because I really like her singing voice. And then, I guess, Johnny, okay. I guess all it took was a little sing-song dance, and that just solved everyone's problems. The people were like, oh, I guess we shouldn't do the demo. The kids are right. No problem. Johnny, okay. Addison's pissed at Zed, because he goes, oh, I found your necklace, and then reveals that actually he took it. And she puts on the necklace and nothing happens because she's not the alpha wolf. I don't know. Gotta get a new personality now, I guess, Addison. There's this part where Bree goes, you're beautiful, Addie, but the same beautiful you've always been. And it really kind of has me crying in the club right now because, that's really sweet. I guess they just couldn't stop the demolition because the power plant explodes anyway, and it's insane. I don't know how they did that. They kind of had, a lot of balls doing that one. The werewolves just start dying? I don't know. In my notes I wrote, oh fuck, I wrote PowerPoint in my notes. The power plant exploded anyways? The werewolves are dying, holy shit, Lamau. And then we get this part where Bucky and the AC's going to prom, and Bucky's got this glittery tuxedo on, and he's so gay, and I love him for it. Zed apologizes to the werewolves, and then he and the zombies break into prom, And I guess the only people that could stop them from going to the prom were Bucky and the ACs, so they just intimidate them and they go in. And then Addie forgives Zed, and she's really pretty, and I just like these two leads a lot, and they do a reprise of Someday, which was their love song in the first movie, and I love that. Johnny, I don't know why the girls are wearing homecoming dresses instead of prom dresses. I hate when movies do this, and if you don't know the difference between a homecoming dress and a prom dress, traditionally prom dresses are more gown-like. They go to the floor and they, you know, they're usually longer, and if not longer, they're sleeker. Less like party and more like cocktail. You know, I don't know how else to explain it. A homecoming dress is more likely going to be a bit shorter. Usually it stops at like halfway down the calves. And it's a bit poofier, like Addison and Bree's dress here. Johnny, okay, do you want me to... Here, does that make you feel better? That's fine. Okay. Anyway, okay. It's fine. It's fine. Meanwhile, after they have their whole, like, reprise and the zombies are at prawn and racism's over, a big CGI crack rips through Seabrook. The Moonstone is evidently not destroyed, but buried, and so it sends a huge crack all the way to prawn. I don't know. Did it know where Addison was? Maybe. I don't know. Hey, Johnny. They're like, oh my god, we gotta find it. So they go through the thing, they find it, and then the wolves charge their wolf necklaces, and then all the teenagers try to join them and lift it, but the walls collapse, and Zed has to use his zombie strength to move the wall aside so they can get the Moonstone out. And there's like this 2-second moment where they think he's dead or something, but then he's okay. And then Zed and Addison have a little hug, and it's really cute, and I just really like these two leads. I love them so much. Milo, call me. Addison somehow changed from heels to wedge heel sneakers, or platform sneakers or something, but I'll forgive her because it's hard to dance in heels, and I understand why they wanted to have a moment where she was wearing pretty heels in the prom, but I would have preferred it if they had her wearing a prom dress, and then we wouldn't even need to notice what shoes she was wearing, but whatever. Bucky does a anti-racism backflip into the number, the final number, and gives Addison her cheer captain jacket. Bucky's nice again. He'll never be racist again. I do like this one shot here where Bucky gives Addison her jacket, and then they hug, and then Addison goes to hug Zed, but then Bucky also wants to do like a bro thing with him, and then he's like, oh no, and then he hugs them, and you can see like real like laughter on their faces. Like it seemed like a real kind of moment where they kind of like messed up the blocking of a scene or something, but I don't care because it's cute and it's funny, and I'm glad they kept it in because it's a really cute moment. I guess zombies can just chill without their Z-bands now. I don't know when they like learn to do that. Eliza mentioned she thinks zombies evolve past their Z-bands, and can I just say that's not how evolution works. Evolution doesn't happen over the course of like your lifetime. It happens in the course of generations, and I'm pretty sure generations didn't happen between your sophomore year of high school and your junior year of high school. I don't know how much time has passed. It's not clear. Actually, I think they start their freshman year. Addison says she's a freshman. Whatever, I don't care. The coach gets to sell froyo again, and I'm really happy for him. Addison and Zed finally get their kiss, and then there's a stinger at the end of the movie that implies that Addison's an alien. I don't know. Here's where we get into the part of the video where I talk about some different things that aren't related to the plot, I guess, but just like general things, likes, dislikes. So if I don't mention a character or anything like that, it means that my opinion really hasn't changed from the first video I made, so I don't really feel the need to say it again. Let's talk about Addison. I think she comes off as a lot more confident in this sequel. I think she carries herself differently, and I think that's partially because her actress is more experienced as a performer, and I'm really happy for her. I think that's really great, and I'm happy to see she's improved. I also think it's because Addison as a character is more confident, which I like to see as her character arc. I really like that for her, and I really love Addison. Even when she doesn't have that much of a personality, I can't help but love her. I think it's this actress. She really carries her well. She's just super likable. She's so cute. I love the way she is just so unquestioningly sweet to everybody. Like, I know it's like, I guess you want to call it a Mary Sue thing. I don't care. She feels so real. I just love her. I think partially what makes her such a good character, and without me feeling like she feels very Mary Sue, is because she's also kind of stupid. And so she's just cute. I just love her. I love the way she goes, "So, welcome to Seabrook." Like, it's cute. I really like Eliza and Zed's dynamic here. I think she is a good foil to him without there being a hint at her threatening Addison's role as a romantic lead. Like, there's never that question. And I really like that because I think Zed having just like a healthy relationship with a female friend of his, like, unquestioningly is pretty good for these types of movies, honestly. I think in a movie maybe 10 years earlier, she would have had some sort of unrequited crush on him. And I like that they didn't even, like, try to go that route. I hope I'm not wrong in the third movie, but I think this movie sets up that Eliza and Wyatt like each other, but whatever. Zed is just as cute and charming as ever. I really appreciate the way they let him make bad and morally questionable decisions. Like, it kind of gives him depth and makes him feel like a real person. And I still love his line delivery. He makes all this stupid dialogue feel like something a human being might say. He's just cute and charming, and I like him a lot. I like Zed. I like the way that Zed, like, bounds into a scene. Like, he runs and hops over shit, which is really funny. I don't know if that's the thing his actor does, or if that was purely a director's decision to have him do that, but it adds to this hilarious golden retriever personality that he's got, and I love it. I love it for him. Bucky's racist again, but in a different way. Like I mentioned earlier, I really like the change that they give him. I really like the way he has this strange nuance in the way he uses fear to control people. I think it makes a lot of sense. He's goofy and silly and gay, and I love him. I love how Bucky's gay. They don't even have to, like, do it. Like, he is the first out gay character, because, like, there's no way you could convince me that this man's supposed to be straight. He's gay, and I love him. I love Bucky. He barely feels like an antagonist in this movie. Like, half the time he folds the second anything scares him. He's just goofy comedic relief. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't know if we were supposed to find him to be like an evil villain, but I just found him goofy and funny. I have almost nothing to say about the new werewolf characters. I think the Musical.ly star does perfectly okay as her comedic relief character. I know my friend, when I was watching it with her, she didn't like her. I thought she was fine. I think she did a perfectly fine job. I don't think that she was, like, distracting as a Musical.ly person. Like, she was fine. I think she did a good job. And as for Wyatt and Willa, I don't mind them at all. I think that Willa lacks any interesting line reads. I can't, off the top of my head, think of any time she, like, said a line in a way that I was like, oh, that was kind of interesting. It's not like she said a line in a bad way. I don't know. She just wasn't that likable or memorable as a character. You know what I mean? Like, I remember she exists, but, like, nothing about her performance really stands out to me in a good or a bad way. Part of her acting is just kind of like, she's very, like, grumpy werewolf. Like, I don't know how to explain it. She's just kind of, like, mean, I guess. I don't know. She's fine. I don't really care that much about her. Wyatt definitely comes off as kind and likable. I like the way that they interact, actually. I like this part where they are in an event or something at the high school, and he goes, this place is pretty great. They got froyo. And she goes, this place sucks. And he goes, yeah, this place is the worst. Like, I like that line read. I think he's sweet and nice, and I like him. I think that maybe there was something about this character that either got lost as they developed the movie, but there's still, like, hints of it left in the script, or this just wasn't established very well. But I do think Wyatt was intended to be, like, Willa's kinder half. You know, he's her very nice brother who gives people a chance. Unfortunately, I think there might have been a lot of cut scenes or cut dialogue from the werewolves. I feel like there might be something missing from them, but I don't know. Generally, I think the three werewolf leads, they work together. I think they bounce off together and generally have a likable and interesting and pretty funny dynamic. The first song, We Got This, isn't bad at all. I like the transition back and forth between Zed and Addison, Zed back in Seabrook, and Addison at cheer camp. I like the way they kind of go back and forth. I think there's a lot of story happening within the song, like a lot of events happen, the story moves forward within the song, which, you know, I feel like I shouldn't have to point out, like, the basic parts of, like, how a movie musical works or how any musical works at all, but a song should almost always move the story forward, especially the opening number. But almost all songs in a musical, they should not stop anything in the story to just happen. In this movie, they'll sing, and it really feels like it works. It feels like things change over the course of the song, and then we are at a different place in the movie than when we started the song. And that's the whole point. Like, I shouldn't have to point this out, but I'm just going to point out, I think that was very well accomplished here. I think all the songs do that, actually. I really like the choreography, and We Got This. I like all the action set pieces that they're all moving through. I like the dancing. I just think the energy is great. It's a great opening number. It really builds on itself over time. It's great. I like the way we transition in and out of spoken word dialogue and jokes to singing again in the chorus. I think that is great, and it works really well. I personally really enjoyed it. I don't give a shit about We Own the Night. It moves the story forward fine. We definitely couldn't take it out of the movie. I think it does help with understanding the werewolves in some way. So we couldn't take it out of the movie, but I don't care about it. The choreography's fine, I guess. They just kind of move through the woods. I think this song is where we really kind of pick up on the fact that Willa is just, she feels kind of cringe sometimes. I don't know. She's trying to give off like tough girl vibes, but it doesn't work that well. To me personally, I think it feels a little forced for tough girl vibes. She just kind of feels mean, not like authoritative. And that's partially because the people that she's supposed to be authoritative over don't have that much of a voice, and they don't seem to show an opinion of her. So it's like, I don't really get the sense that she's in charge of the pack. It kind of just seems like she talks the most. Do It Like the Zombies Do is quite literally Uptown Funk. It just is. It's Uptown Funk. However, I like the vocals a lot, and I like the dancing. I think everyone here is doing a really good job dancing and singing and emoting like it's a conversation they're having back and forth. I think it's really well executed. I like Mila's dancing here. I think it really shines, especially this beginning part. I like the way that we can see them all kind of making these like sarcastic facial expressions when the werewolves are like, oh my god, we'll totally be just like you, and you can tell that they're being sarcastic. We can also tell that Zed is not picking up on it, and I like that. I like the back and forth here, so I think that's good. I actually quite like I Gotta Find Where I Belong. It's not like, it doesn't have like the energy I love, but I think the lyrics are pretty okay, and I like the detail with Addison's parents. I feel like the fact that she feels so disconnected from them is like a really sad detail. I mean, you know, she kind of grew up trying to be exactly what her parents wanted her to be, and now she just feels like she doesn't really know who she is, and she doesn't even feel like her parents understand her, and I can see why that would make her feel really alienated. No pun intended. Foreshadowing. I really like Addison's in the chorus. I don't know why. I think it's good. I like it. I really love the shot of Addison piecing together Addison's letters that got shredded. It says, Zed, we belong together. Heart, Addison. I don't think I ever noticed this detail until like the most recent time I watched the movie, and I thought it was really sweet. I like that they did bring that back and they made it matter, and it's just a really sweet scene. This is how we're living our lives. The lyrics to the chorus are really stupid. Ooh, I see my foods here. This is how we're living our lives is pretty fun. I think the chorus has like kind of lame lyrics, like this is how we're living our lives is like, I don't know, it just feels like clunky in some way, like grammatically it feels clunky. I don't know how to explain it, but I do really love the choreography and the way it feels like a dance that they could be doing diegetically. Like, it feels like, you know, with the bamboo sticks part. I love this dance with the bamboo sticks. I love the energy. It feels like natural. I like the idea that it implies that it's just like a fun little dance that they do all the time. It's like a game. I really love the aesthetics of the soundstage that they've got here. It's small, but I do feel like they fill the space in a really great way. I love the energy of it, and I love a costume change. I love the way Addison changes into her costume. It just works really well. I think it is a great number, especially for its purpose that it's trying to serve. Yeah, I really love the aesthetics of the soundstage. I think it just really works. It's cohesive and it really works together. I think that it is probably one of the most thoroughly realized numbers in the movie. So let's talk about I'm Winning. It fucks, it bangs, and I love it. I really like the way they illustrate Zed winning over the crowd with the back and forth. Bucky is just really funny as a character and a performer, and I love the way the entire number just bounces. I love the way the entire number just bounces back and forth and back and forth. It reminds me a lot of I Can't Dance from High School Musical 2. Honestly, just like the back and forth of it, it's like an argument, you know? Although they both have like really different contexts, I do think that they are in some way spiritually similar. Flesh and Bone is literally just Imagine Dragons' Believer. I don't hate it. I like it, actually. I like the way everybody joins in and dances together. I like the group ensemble number, but the choreography, I'm sorry, it's just really awkward and strange and clunky. It does a great job moving the story along, and I think that it's just kind of like awkward in some parts. I do like the later parts of the song with the visuals of them splashing through the water and hanging fists on control panels and standing arm in arm together. It's an excellent ensemble number. I think it really works. It's not as energetic and as fun as the Fired Up reprise, but I think it works, and I do think it's good, and I like it. The Someday reprise, I absolutely love it. I love it as part of the movie. I love it as like just the way that they tie that together. I like it. I love it. I don't have much else to say about it because it's not that long. It's just really sweet, and I like that. One for All is a very fun ending song, and I couldn't hate it if I wanted to. They all look like they're having a really good time. I just really love the vibes. I think it's just a good time to watch. And I'm sure it took absolutely forever to film, but it came out really good. It's so fun. It's such a fun ensemble number. You can really get the sense that the cast was having a good time. It's long, and I like it because I like the way we just move in and out. Characters, ensembles going in and out. It's like a big like curtain call, and I really like that. Before I properly conclude, I would just like to go through a little list that I kept of things that I liked about the movie. One, I like that the coach sells froyo because that was mentioned in the first movie. I like that that was brought back, and I like that he gets to keep selling froyo. Good for him. I like the noise that Bonzo's Frankenphone makes. It's very silly and Whoville-esque. I like that Zed's clothes were consistently asymmetrical, like this one sleeve would be longer than another, and the short side would literally be hemmed, so it was like intentional. It feels more like a zombie fashion statement than anything, which is just, I don't know, it's interesting. The werewolves have cool facial marks and goofy press-on nails, which was funny to me. Swearwolf jar, I liked the swearwolf jar part. That was just funny. I don't know why, it just made me giggle. The fact that their prom is called prawn, and they say it with a straight face every time, it's very funny because it's just a good pun that they just keep saying over and over. I love it. I obviously love the way Zed bounds and jumps and runs into every scene. It's very goofy and cartoony. I mentioned before, I love it. The fact that racism is kind of over, like the humans aren't nearly as racist as they were in the first movie. Even if they like have the anti-monster laws back in place, like the people do seem to be still pretty fine with zombies. They kind of didn't forget what they learned at the end of the first movie, and it feels like the first movie actually matters in the story. Now, I hate to say it, besties, but I think I loved this movie. I don't know why, but I had a really great time with it. I loved the music and the characters. It was just so goofy and silly and just fun to watch. It's better than Descendants. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really like it. I really liked the movie. I'm hoping that the third movie won't disappoint me because I had such a good time with this movie. We'll see you in the next one, which I know is about aliens.